and the only real conclusion was that they were going to start taking profits on their long positions, which was going to fuel a move to the downside. And lo and behold, look at the drop that we got. How's it going, fellow traders? Magic Trader here, and this is your latest CFTC data that was reported on July 30th, 2024. Here is a brief snapshot of the positions held as of that date. And as I like to do, I like to begin by looking at the change column. And what do we see? Big numbers, big numbers. We see USCAD, that's one of them, was very bullish with a positive 69,000. Aussie bearish. Look at the pound. Remember we talked about how the pound needed to profit take on long positions? Well, they did so with a bearish move of minus 61,000. US dollar Japanese yen also needs to take profit on long positions, and look what happened here. Bearish move of minus 64,000. Huge, huge, huge. We also got a bearish move here on gold with a minus 54,000. We have oil bearish move with minus 63,000. Bullish move on the S&P plus 53,000. And bonds bullish, 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 bullish. So let's start, as we always do, by examining gold. Look at gold, guys. Long positions, okay? I told you that they were going to have to start closing them off soon because they were reaching maximum size. Take a look, 349 down to 341, down to 313. And what did we see this past week? We saw a move to the downside. It was slight, but there was a move. That's profit taking on long positions. We've since hit some short-term demand. So we are likely going to see some upside pressure on gold. Probably at the beginning of the week. Don't know if it'll last until the rest of the week, but definitely at the beginning of the week, okay? Another thing I wanted to point out is if we take a look at the coloration here, we'll see that it used to be very aggressive with green. Look at that. Okay, the green color, meaning aggressive with longs. And now they're becoming less so, all right? And that's because of the profit taking on those long positions. So, a very interesting week ahead of us because, like I said, they're taking profits on long positions, but we got some short-term demand in play. If that demand gets removed, then we'll see a bigger drop. But if you want to know if that's going to take place, follow us on our X account or on our Telegram. Links are on our website. All right, oil. Look at long positions. Sure, they took positions off. Look, they used to be at 368, 369. Look at where we're at now, 315. Short positions. Are they even focused on short positions right now? Not really. Not at all. And so what happens when you close off long positions? It tends to cause price to drop, and that's exactly what we saw with price. All right, let's take a look at the US dollar. US dollar is dropping. We had some news come out, NFP, which was negative, and that fueled a move to the downside. Now, remember, last area of significant selling was right here, okay? No buying zones down here. As you can see, it's all empty. Last area was here, sold, and then a retest, and now we're moving to the downside. Now, interesting thing is that if we look at the coloration of the cells, we can see that there was a slight bullish bias here, okay? Just very slight, but still bullish bias here. And it's interesting because slight bullish bias, and yet price dropped. Now, why is there a slight bullish bias? Well, long positions are greater than the short positions, but as you could see over the last few weeks, long positions haven't really been doing much at all, okay? If we look at the net positions, we can see that they are definitely in the green, but there was anything aggressive here, okay? It was never aggressive to the long side, so we're not looking for a price to head higher. Now let's all go over to the Aussie. Look at Aussie. They took profits on long positions, and then they added to their short positions. And what do you think that fueled? It fueled a move to the downside, okay? Longs taking profit fuels a move to the downside, and shorts being added fuels a move to the downside. And sure enough, that is what's taken place. Now remember, we still have demand in play, okay? Massive area of demand. Another thing I'll point out is if we look at the coloration here, they were bearish, became neutral, a tinge of bearish now, but there hasn't been anything really sustainable for any period since the beginning of the year. If you take a look back, it was bearish and then nothing else after that, okay? So let's move along and take a look at USCAD. Now, this one is where I've got my eyes. Because if you take a look at long positions, you'd see that right now we're at 219,000. This is the largest long position the institutions have ever held. Okay, the speculators with USCAD. 90% of their overall position is geared to the long side. So what does this tell me? Well, it tells me that a drop is imminent. Okay. We have supply just a little bit above price. Are we going to rally up there before a drop? It's possible. It's possible. But the main thing is that the focus should be on watching for a move to the downside. There's going to be signals on the lower time frame, and I'll be sharing those with members. And when that takes place, then boom, we're going to be seeing a larger drop in price. Okay. So it's something that I'm watching for, and I'm preparing myself for entry. US Swiss, we were aggressive somewhat with longs, not super aggressive, but then we see profit taking on those longs. And again, profit taking on longs fuels a move to the downside. Okay. Looks like soon we're going to be contacting some demand, but pressures to the downside at this point. Euro US dollar, let's look at positions. They increased their longs recently, and then this past week they show a decrease in those long positions. At the same time, they're adding to their shorts from 153 up to 165. What do we have happen? We had a short signal here. One of the targets got hit. We had a second target that wasn't hit, but the stop has now been contacted. And so now we're watching to see what's going to happen. Now remember, for the longest time, I've been telling you that there hasn't been anything in terms of a very strong momentum or bias here. So we're in the neutral territory. I'm waiting for something a little bit more solid before making a decision on direction with the Euro US dollar. Pound, 188,000 for longs. They needed to take profits. They did. That fueled this little move to the downside here. And it took place at the weekly area of supply. So what's next? What's going to happen? Well, we look at the profit-taking situation with pound, and it's reasonable to conclude that they're going to continue with the profit-taking, which will likely, over time, fuel a move to the downside. So I'm watching for that. Am I looking for trades at this point? No, not really. I'm not really interested in trading the pound at this point. US dollar, Japanese yen, big move. I told members that at these highs, we are likely going to see a drop. We contacted supply. The institutions were massively long, and the only real conclusion was that they were going to start taking profits on their long positions, which was going to fuel a move to the downside. And lo and behold, look at the drop that we got. It's a massive drop. Look at the coloration of the cells now for long and short percentage. They're leaving bullishness and starting to enter into neutral territory. So that aggressive long position that the banks were holding is not so aggressive right now. And price is now retracing back to where we had the trend line. And it's going to soon be stabilizing from what I see. All right. And then we'll watch for our next trade. New Zealand, US dollar, they were aggressive with longs at 45,000. They needed to take profits. And what did they do? They took profits. What do the profits fuel? A move to the downside. There's no specific demand here. There's nothing really to base any trades off of. But I will remind you that not long ago, we were bullish, right, with price action. And now we are not bullish. Neutral, turning into bearish. but nothing sustainable if you look at the overall biases since the beginning of January. Come and join us at www.whiteoakfx.com. We would love to have you. If you're interested and you're thinking, maybe I want to join, maybe I don't know. I just want to dip my toes inside and see what they've got to offer. We are now offering you a 50% off. All right, 50% off a basic membership. For the month of August, we're offering this this discount. So you can sign up at the end of August, because August 31st, it's gone. The coupon is gone. All right, if you sign up at the end of August, you'll have the end of August and all of September. It's basically whenever you sign up, you have a 1 full month membership at 50% off. If you decide to stick around after that, great. If you look and you see and you decide it's not for you, then at least you have a chance of seeing what we are doing inside the school at 50% off. But nonetheless, come to this page here, White Oak FX, and you can click on blog and you can see and read all about it here. And we have a link here to the pricing plans, coupon code Vegas, get your 50% off. Take a peek inside the school and see what we're doing. All right, that's it. You take care of yourself. Have a good one, and so long.